And we're just giving people a couple more minutes to join, then we'll get going. I can see here that we've got operators joining from all over today. Amazing to see the spread. Exciting to see you all here. Just wanted to do some quick housekeeping before we start. We are recording this session, so if you can't stay for the full hour or someone on your team wants to watch back the recording, it will land on your inbox tomorrow. So don't worry about that, and don't worry about missing some of the detail that we talked through here today. And through the session as well, remember you can drop in questions in the Q&A panel at any time during the demos. And we've got some time for Q&A at the end when we'll get to those. And I'll show you in a couple of minutes how to do that as well. Okay, looks like the numbers have started stabilizing now, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to the very first Bókun Tide. I am Barbara. I am the Senior Product Marketing Manager here at Bókun. And over the next 45 minutes or so, my team and I are going to walk you through everything that's new in this release. What's new, and importantly, what it unlocks for your business as well. Before we get into the features, there are two things I want to chat you through. One is just a quick word on what Bókun Tide actually is, and also who you will be hearing from today. So there are five of us with you today. I'm Barbara, your main host, and I lead product marketing at Bókun, as I mentioned. You then hear from Courtney. She is one of our product managers that is taking you through the new calendar. You will then hear from Akshit, who is covering our new AI product importer, the new product creation flow, and AI descriptions. Then you will hear from Asti, who is walking you through the new and improved PayPal integration. And finally, from Maya, who is going to close us out with everything we've been building with Viator, including pricing sync and our new AI integrations. If you have any questions for us as we go, you can drop them in the Q&A, as I mentioned, and we will come back to them at the end. So a quick look at what the next 45 minutes to an hour will look like. We will start with what Bókun Tide actually is. Then we're going to go straight into the features. Calendar, AI product importer, new product creation flow, AI descriptions, PayPal, and finally, Viator pricing sync and AI integrations. Wrapped up with a Q&A. So, right, let's start with what Bókun Tide actually is, which is something we're really keen for you to walk away from today knowing. Here's the very simple version on what is Bókun Tide and why we've decided to build it. Until now, when we've shipped new features at Bókun, we've announced them as they've come, one at a time. And that works fine on our end. But we started to figure out that on your end, this is harder to keep track of based on your feedback. You might miss something, you might hear about it months after you went live, it might come out at a time that you're busy and you don't know the resource to look back on, or you might wonder when something's actually arriving. So we've decided to give it a bit of change and look at this a different way. So Bókun Tide is our new product release series. It's a regular cadence where we're going to bundle all of our latest features, improvements, and innovations into one moment and tell you about them properly and show you exactly what they unlock for your business. Today is the first one, and there will be more to follow. But the idea is that we can bring you now closer to our product managers, to our partnership managers, for you to understand the reasons behind what we do, how it can help you, and what it can unlock for your business. So there are two key things I wanted you to take away from today. One is that Bókun Tide is built around you. Everything we do at Bókun is built around you. Every feature you see today started with operator feedback. Real conversations with real operators about what time's being lost, what bookings are being missed, what pricing is breaking. None of these is fluff or filler. It's tools for the things you actually do every day. And then two, it's all about what it unlocks. Features are nice, but what really matters is what they help you do. Schedule faster, get products live sooner, convert more at checkouts, save hours on pricing, and reach new audiences. That's the lens we keep coming back to today and that we hope you walk away with. So that's the why. And before we get into the what, I just wanted to show you what you can submit your questions as well. So there is a chat function, but for your questions, so we can organize them and answer them better for you. The best way to submit them is in this little question box on the top right corner. If you click that and submit your question, that allows us to categorize them and get them properly at the end of the webinar. But obviously, if you have any urgent, pressing questions, feel free to drop them in the chat as well, and one of us will get to it. And without further ado, I would like to introduce our first co-host today, who is Courtney, who is going to take over and talk through the new calendar improvements.
Hi, everybody. So amazing to see so many, well, not see, to see the tiny number that says there's a lot of you. That's really impressive. I'm Courtney. As Barbara introduced, I'm one of the product managers here at Bókun, and I'm here today to talk to you about the calendar overhaul that we've been doing between sort of January and up to now. I was trying to count on my fingers. I think we've improved more than 20 things, which I'm really excited to show you. Barbara, maybe you can move me to the next slide now. So with all of these calendar improvements, we had an overall mission, and the goal was to include everything you need to run your day in one view. So you can see that written at the top of this slide. That's what we're aiming for with all of these improvements. And to do that, we really prioritize these three pillars that you see on this slide. So more customer information, quick actions like 1 or 2 clicks to get into many useful actions, and then more clarity on what's happening with each departure. So we call that scheduling clarity. I'm going to go through the detail of all of these things in my demo in a second. So I'm not going to read all the words on this slide, but I wanted you to know that that's what we are trying to achieve. And to do that, we basically made all of these improvements by drawing on the customer feedback that we got from about 30 different user interviews. And I reckon there's at least one person on this call who came to a user interview for the calendar. So if you're out there, thank you. That was super useful. And I just want to send a little shout out to our research team and our design team who spent a long time on this feature, made a big contribution. Right, so I think that's enough of that. I mentioned there's a lot of improvements. So I need to get going quickly into my demo. I'm going to whiz through these things pretty fast. So as Barbara mentioned, there is a recording. You might want to go and watch it back later to see things more slowly, or click into your own calendar and see some of the features for yourself. So let me just take over sharing my screen. And hopefully that's everyone can see that. I think you can. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the home screen of my test account. Okay, so I have to warn you, this is a test account. You're going to see some kind of dummy data. This is not real customers, and these are not real tours. So what you would do from here is you would find the calendar on the left here under bookings. And this test account actually has the new calendar by default. But before I start that demo, I want to show you a reminder of the old calendar. So let me just switch to the old calendar. And you can see this is what it looked like up to about January on Bókun. Lots of tours, a little hard, perhaps, if I'm honest, to sort of see the differences. Like these ones here need me to assign a driver. That's really the only kind of major alert I can see. And I'll just click into any one of these, I guess, and show you. This is what happens if you click into a departure. You have a sort of minimal screen with some functionality, things you can do for the departure. So that's a reminder of what we're talking about. Now let me go back to the new calendar and give you the proper demo. Okay, so this new calendar is live to everybody, and we've had it out on the site for about a month and a half, I would say. I'm showing you the sort of fullest view that you could see. You'll notice, first things first, loads of colors here. We got feedback from customers that having colors on the calendar helps them visually identify what's happening a little bit more easily. So we switched to a colorful mode. The other thing that we've added on this screen is the ability to switch between a time view. So I'm looking at the times here, like my tour is at 7 or 8, and I can switch over to an experiences view. So now I can see like all the Alpine Wonderland tours are together, and each day I have 2 departures. And that's actually just personal preference. Some people like to think of it one way and other people like to think of it another. We just wanted to be able to give people the option. I'm going to stick with by time because that helps me a little. And let's look a little bit over some of the features. So maybe the first thing you can see apart from the colors is we have lots of alerts that have now been added. So sold out, 2 seats left, close. If I scroll down, there's a few different ones. I think there's a disrupted. Here's a disrupted. These ones need a resource assigned. We're trying to make it so that you can scan it quickly. And thinking about that middle pillar of our goals, you can take those quick actions. Another thing I wanted to show you was here on Thursday. You can see I've got a little purple icon where I can have a daily diary entry, which I can edit. I have a VIP on Thursday, so I'm going to add his name is, I don't know, I'm making up his name. He's called Chuck, and I can save that. And then everyone who sees this day, even on the other screens, can see this little note. And the other icon you have here is called Statistics for the Day. This is totally new. This is like a summary of everything that's happening on that day. If you're the kind of person who likes to get a sort of overview, you might find that useful. You can also get a summary or a statistics view on a time. So everything happening at 10 o'clock. If you're in the experience view, you can do it by that particular tour. So there's lots of different ways that you can sort of now see a bit more of your data and understand what's happening with your departures. One more thing to show you on this screen. If, like me, you're the kind of person who has many different departures, but it's too much to look all in once, I can toggle them all now. So I've shut them. So they're still there, and I can see the ones with alerts, but it's a little easier to sort of see the info. I'll open them again. Oh, I like being by time, switch back. And if I wanted to, I could just shut a certain time, or I could shut the times that have already passed. So we're adding just a little bit of customizations there, hopefully you can make your calendar suit your business a little bit better. So next I wanted to show you some filtering options. I've showed you by time and by experience. We already had this by week or by day view. You might find the day view useful. Again, if you have a lot of things happening in one day, it's probably easier than loading up a whole week. We kept the filters, which was already existing Bókun functionality, which remains exactly as it was. And now we've added this idea of settings. So if you don't like the colors, you could turn your calendar back to the sort of simple neutral view. That's possible. You can also change some of these settings here. So you might want to see your colors just in a row, which is my setting. If I change it to per experience, can you see the background change? So now my discover the best parts of wonderful, whatever it was, is all orange, and the other one's all pink, just gives you more visual definition. And down here, you can decide whether you want to have these things switched on or switched off. So if you don't have the type of business with pickups, you can just turn them off. You don't have to clutter up your calendar with those things. I'm leaving them on for the demo because I want to show that to you. So I'll leave them on. And then last but not least, few seats left. That's really this display here where it says 2 seats. You can customize that actually if you want. You can have that show when it's 50% booked or 90% booked. That's up to you. I'm leaving it at 80% for now. So I think that's everything I want to show you on this particular colorful calendar page. And I want to pause for a second because I mentioned at the beginning how much user feedback we used in this design process. And I think now is a really good opportunity to get more user feedback. So I couldn't resist to do a little poll. So I'm going to turn on a poll, which is going to appear on your screen. It's going to ask you, I have 2 questions to ask you about a particular topic in the calendar that my team and I are quite interested in, and we're thinking about, should we do something in this area or not? And that's closeouts. So we notice a lot of people use closeouts, but we don't really know how much. So I'm going to launch my first poll, and hopefully you guys will see it in a second. Launch poll. There we go. So if everybody could just take a minute to answer that poll, I'll just give you like, I don't know, 10 seconds or something like that. And see. I don't see a progress. I hope everyone's actually voting. I see 1 vote. Oh, I hope I can get more than that, guys. That's better. Now I've seen a few votes coming in. Okay, I'll give you a couple more seconds. And so I'm asking, how often are you closing out departures? Never, a few, often, basically. Right. I'm going to give 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, I'm going to close the poll and share the results. Just a little snapshot on the screen. And thank you. Now, I did say there was 2, so I'm going to launch the second one now. I think that was basically saying that many people are closing sometimes. So the next poll is coming up. And this is about, would you like the ability to close more than 1 tour at a time? So we're thinking about whether it might be useful to close 5 departures at once. Because that is something we don't currently offer, but we could potentially investigate creating that functionality in the calendar. So the choices here are love it. I'd love to be able to close 5 and lots of departures at once. Meh, I'm happy to just do it 1 at a time, or I wouldn't use that. So again, I'll just give you like, I guess about 30 seconds. We'll see how many people vote, and then we'll carry on. Well, that's good. You guys are so quick at answering the second poll, as everyone's got the hang of it. Okay, I think the votes are stabilizing now. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, share results. So it's kind of, I think a lot of people would like the ability to close multiple departures at once. It looks like Love It got the most votes there. So that is great. Thank you so much. We'll definitely take that on board in the team and use it as one of our bits of feedback towards the calendar. But now I'm going to keep going with the demo. So I want to show you, the next thing I want to show you is the actual departure details. Now, this is actually not live on every account yet. This is in beta with about 3,000 customers. So if that's you and your account looks like this, please fill in the feedback survey because we are trying to get as much feedback as possible. Now, this departure view is where that sort of mission about everything in one place really starts to shape up. And we're trying to focus on the key actions. So checking people in, closing the booking, accessing departure management, assigning resources, editing availability. There's loads of things you could want to do here, and we're trying to bring it all together in one place. So I'm going to pick on this downtown walking tour. 7 a.m. on Thursday, because I can see that there's only 2 seats left and I've got a resource to assign. So you can see this is the new departure details screen. It has a lot of information on it. I know I need to add resources, so I'll go to the resources tab, and I'm going to break this up into 2. Okay, so I like to have 8 passengers with each guide. So I'm going to give 5 in Christina's party to Chiro. And then I'm going to combine Jacqueline and Tristan together into one other group, and I'll give that to another guide. I'll give it to Piero. So now all of my resources are assigned, and what I like is that you can see the names of your guides up here now. So you just have that sort of at a glance view of who's got this departure. So I'll go back into departures or into overview, and here's where I have like a dilemma, because I've got 2 guides. They can each take 8 passengers, but I've actually only got my availability set to 8. So now I'm going to just quickly increase my availability. So 2 times 8 is 16. So I'll just type 16 in there. And so now you can see I've quickly made my availability. Hopefully I can get a few more bookings. Now I wouldn't do this, but I could maybe instead close it out. I could add a reason, changed my mind. I don't know. This is new functionality. It will help us gather information about closeouts, and you can reference it later on. I actually don't really want to do that, so I'll just open it again. I just wanted to show it to you. And now that I've done a few actions on this tour, I'm going to scroll to the bottom and show you here, activity log. We've added this to the departures, and this is actually tracking everything that I've been doing. So you can see I opened the departure. Before that, I closed the departure. I changed the availability. This is when I was playing around with the availability before the demo. So you can see you now can have full visibility of all the changes that will be happening to your departure. And if different people were doing it, it would capture their name as well. So you can see who did what when. So that's really that third pillar around clarity. That's what we're trying to do here, so that you can really see more easily what's been happening. So I'm nearly done. I just want to draw your attention to this area here. This is the passenger. Each booking has their own kind of information section. And if I click on Christina, we've also added more information here. So now I can see that Christina's email address is here. This is a funny one because it's on test. I could copy that to the clipboard. I could paste it right into my email. She didn't provide her phone number. If she had, it would be here, and I would also be able to copy and paste it, maybe into WhatsApp if I've got that in a tab and I just want to send a quick message. I've got the details about the booking. I can see where it came from. This one says it's a test booking, but if it was from somewhere like Viator or Get Your Guide, that would show up here so that you can give the right experience to those guests. And the other thing that's new is all of these kind of little downloads down here. This is the details of their booking, and if you want to, you can go and see their ticket or their invoice. So there's a lot more customer information here. There's unpaid. You could add her payment. There's a lot you could do. You could, maybe she didn't arrive. Maybe she actually no-showed. You could mark her here. Or you could, I mean, I checked in all of these guys before, but you could also manage the check-ins from this screen too. So that's everything I wanted to show you on the departure details screen. Of course, every tour is different, and some tours will have slightly different information. This one here, for example, that was a walking tour. It was pretty simple. This is a bus trip, and you can see actually in this case, I needed to do something else. I needed to assign a driver. That's a different kind of action, which I would do here in pickups. So maybe I've got these people are not assigned to be collected yet, and they're at the Grand Hotel. So I could actually assign that person from here. Who have I got? I've got Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and John. I'm going to pick John. So I could assign my driver there too. So as I said, the contents of the departure screen really flex depending on what you've got in your booking. And we've tried to make it as configurable as you want. So that was a bit of a blitz through everything to do with calendar. I'm sorry it was so quick. Like I said, I would recommend you watch the recording. And of course, if you have any questions about it, put them in the question box now. Or if you have any suggestions for more improvements, you could put them in the chat as well. You could send them our way, bring them to the Q&A at the end. We're really, really looking for as many different bits of customer feedback as possible. So that's it for me. I'm going to hand it, I think I'm handing to you, Akshat, now. I will stop sharing my screen, and you're going to take over and share the slides as well, I think.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Courtney, for taking us through the amazing calendar. Hey, everyone. So we'll now be talking about the AI product importer. So first of all, I'm Akshat. I'm also part of the product team here at Bókun. So what is AI product importer? Now, I think like creating a product is probably the single most important thing that everyone needs to do in order to basically get set up on Bókun. Now, earlier you had to create the entire product from scratch. Now many of you might have the products on your website already, and you still need to enter all the details manually while you're signing up. So what we did is we created a tool where when you're signing up on Bókun, all you need to do is enter your website while you're signing up. And as soon as you do that, while you are creating your account, we are in the background actually going through your website, identifying the products, and very smartly bringing them onto Bókun so that by the time you are done signing up, you don't have to start from scratch. You actually have a lot more things set up already. So here is a quick video of how this functions. So as soon as you enter the details, you come onto this page where you give consent that, okay, I consent that this is my website, and I have the right to all the data. You go forward, you continue onboarding as you would normally, and you'll answer all the required questions. Once you reach the end, you then will basically sign up onto Bókun. And as you can see, as soon as you come on the homepage, you see that there are experiences that are already imported by the time you were actually coming in. So you can see that there are 6 experiences that we are identified, and these experiences keep increasing as we go. So as you can see, this is dynamic. So we have identified 6 experiences. Now they have increased to 7. All you need to do now is basically go ahead and review these experiences. So if you click on review now, you will come across this screen where you can see the names of all your experiences. And all you need to do is go on to review, check all the details of the experiences, and basically publish them. And that's as easy. So if we see an example, we see that the time, booking cutoff, capacity, pricing, rates, everything is already set in. All you need to do is enter start times, enter the capacity, enter the pricing information, and as soon as you're done there, you can just simply activate. And that is how you can review all your experiences and get started onto Bókun. So that was a very quick demo of this. Now, if I go forward, and obviously, like currently, this functionality is only available for existing for new users. So if you are a new user who is trying to sign up to Bókun, you can actually make use of this functionality. However, if you are an existing user, I'm very happy to say that we are bringing this functionality for our existing users as well, as soon as later this month. So if I move on next, I'll now talk about 2 new features in combination. The first one is the new product creation flow, and the second one is AI descriptions. Now, what we did in the new product creation flow is we really understood, and we actually did a lot of customer research. So we spoke to many of you, and we found out that the current flow is not as intuitive and easy as creating a product should ideally be, considering you are spending so much time to actually create products. So we made it really faster than ever. We made it super intuitive so that every step feels like, okay, this is the right thing to do. And then the third thing is we know that many of you are actually on the go. So we made sure that the new design actually fits in really well with not just desktop, but also on mobile. So we gave you almost 40% more real estate to create your products on mobile. So hence navigating is so much more easier. Along with that, we also launched something called AI generated descriptions. So this also comes from our customers, which is you guys, where we understood that many of you are actually going to tools like ChatGPT or Gemini to create the description that you want to put on your website or you want to showcase to your customers. And we thought, why not actually integrate it in-house and so that we can make your life easier. So we actually did that as well, which will enable you to get more bookings and basically get more listings. So I'll very quickly show you a demo of both of these features. So this is a test account that I have, and let's see where we come. So we want to create an experience. So let's go to experience overview, and we see an option here to create an experience. We click on this, and then the first thing we see is which type of experience do we want to create. So is it like a express creation that we just want to create like a dummy skeleton or a very quick experience? Or is it a classic editor, or I want to go to a classic editor, which will give me a lot more functionalities like location, resource management, allocations, so on and so forth. So, and again, you can actually change your mind midway as well. But let's say I want to start with express creation. The first thing you need to do is enter your title. So let's say London Bridge History Walking Tour. I go on next. And here is the first step, which is the AI descriptions. Now, I need to write a short description and a long description, but actually, you know what? I'm going to give it to an LLM anyway. So maybe I use this Bókun feature. Now, I want to make it family friendly, maybe. So if I generate the content, I see explore the fascinating history of London Bridge with a guided walking tour, perfect for families and curious minds for all ages. Now it's a pretty good description. What I can do is I can simply click on replace, which will replace it, or I can copy it and paste it anywhere I want. But let's say I don't like it, I discard it, and I actually want a luxury one. So if I go to a luxury one, it says, indulge in an exclusive London Bridge history walking tour where centuries of elegance, intrigue unfold along with city's most iconic landmark. Well, that does sound luxurious, to be honest. Okay, I'll go for that. And maybe if I generate the long description and in the same tone, I can get a longer description here. And it's pretty long, so I won't read it, but I trust it to be very, very uh, let's say luxurious. So I can click on replace. Now, the good thing is you can actually edit any part of it. So let's say you don't like it, you can still edit it. You can still use all the prompts here. You can actually edit the short description as well. Once you're happy with it, you can click on next. And then you can add your photos. So let's say if I want to add some pictures, I can for my tour. So I add all of them. I can go on next. And the good thing is it tells me that many of these steps are actually not required, but some of them are required for me to activate. So let's say if I want to go jump in directly here, so start time is necessary and that makes sense. So the tour is, let's say, at 10 a.m. and it lasts for 2 hours. So I can set that, I can add the start time. It automatically updates and it tells me that, okay, now you just have one step. So I need to add availability. Let's say it happens on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and repeats on weekdays. So that's done. I take 15 people. I can change that, but I will stick to 15. And then I don't have pricing. So I can say pricing as, let's say, 100 ISK and 70 for children. Now, as soon as you enter that, you see the option that you can actually activate the experience right here. But you know what? I actually wanted to put in a meeting point as well, because where do I meet my customers? So I show additional options and I see that there is a lot of things that I can actually add. So I can add meeting point here. So let's say I start as meeting point And where do I want to meet? Let's say London Bridge. Okay, I can enter more details and I can say submit. I see that the pricing, because I didn't save it, actually did not get saved, but I got a good reminder of it. And then the last feature is you can actually search for your experience as well. So let's say I don't know, but I want to change the booking questions or something. So let's say if I can find that. Oh, okay. So here are some of the booking questions that you can enter, which the customer has to provide. So for example, these are all the questions that you can add. Once I'm happy with my experience, I can do two things. One is I can activate, or the second is I can preview. So if I preview the experience, I can see how it actually looks like on my widget on my website. This looks pretty good. I'm very happy with it. And I can now click on activate. As soon as I activate, the experience is here in the background. As you can see, it shows as active. You can actually go on and edit it. This is entirely a new screen as well, so it looks very beautiful and is much more user-friendly. And the last part, which I want to show, but I'll not go into absolute details, is actually how it looks on mobile, right? So if we see, create experience with an express flow, and now it looks so much easier, right? So you have all the steps, you have all the additional options, you have the search functionality, everything in, but you have a lot more real estate, which you can play around with, and you can actually create your experience on the go rather than having to look for a desktop to be able to do it. And that probably is the end. I'm looking forward to all the questions that you might have. Very happy to answer it. And with that, I'll hand over now to Asti, who will talk about our new and upcoming PayPal integration. Over to you.
Thank you, Akshit, for all of these updates. Let me share my screen here with you. I assume you see it now. You're so blind in this webinar, so you never see anyone else on the screen. So I hope you're all still here. So I am Ásthildur, and I am a senior project manager at Bókun. And for the last few weeks, my team and I have been working on creating a new and improved integration to PayPal. So today, as many of you know, and I'm sure some of you are already using that integration, we have an integration with PayPal to their payment page. That payment page is quite outdated at this point, so we are very excited to release new updates on that integration. So what the new integration will bring you is faster checkout. So PayPal has redesigned the checkout process so it's faster. There are less fields for the supplier to fill in. And if we can pre-populate it, we have pre-populated everything that we can pre-populate for the traveler so they don't have to spend a lot of time filling in fields. What the new integration also brings you is more payment methods. So we all know that today's travelers, especially the younger ones, are more likely not to have a credit card and prefer to use other methods to pay, for example, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and many local payment methods too. All of that will come with a new integration. We also have Pay Later with PayPal, which works similar to Klarna, and then Fastlane by PayPal. And if you don't know Fastlane, it is basically, as a traveler, when you come to a PayPal checkout, you can register your email, which will register your payment information with PayPal. And then whenever you come across PayPal checkout anywhere in the world, basically, you can just choose add your email, and then it will pre-populate the checkout, and they can just check out really with one click. So that's super easy for the traveler, and this has helped a lot of conversion through PayPal for the customers who have signed up for PayPal Fastlane. So that's going to be a great addition to the checkout flow. So let me see. Next, I was going to simply walk you through how you upgrade your current PayPal integration to the new PayPal integration, or how, as a new customer who owns a PayPal account, can link it to Bókun. It's actually a very simple process, so it's not going to be a very long demo we do here. So let's go to the next slide here. So the first thing everyone has to do is simply just log into Bókun. When you're in Bókun, you can choose settings, sales settings, and payment providers on the sidebar, or you can just simply write payment providers in the search bar on the top left side. Then you get to this payment provider page here. So to add a new payment provider, so whether you already have an integration with PayPal in Bókun or if you're creating a new one from scratch, it's exactly the same process. So you go here, you just choose add a payment provider. Then you come to the page which shows you which payment providers are available to you. This screen changes a bit depending on where in the world you are, but PayPal should be one of the top 3 tiles here. So you can just choose PayPal to start integrating to them or connecting to them. If PayPal is not here, go to other providers and check and find PayPal there and start the integration process. If PayPal appears on the other providers list, double check that your country is supported by PayPal, because what is shown at the top is what is supported by your country. So you might happen to be in one of the few countries that PayPal does not support. So just keep that in mind when you start the process. But yeah, you select PayPal here. And if you're wondering, those of you who already have PayPal, there is only gonna be an option to connect to the new PayPal. So you can just choose PayPal here. You don't have to find the old one or the new one in the interface. We will only show you the new one. So you choose that, and now here you just basically choose connect with PayPal. How the process is that you just have to log into PayPal with your current user credentials. There's nothing else you have to do. So you just select here connect with PayPal. You log in with your current user information, go to next, then you come to this account page here where you basically just have to allow Bókun to connect to PayPal. So this is the integration. Here you're doing the integration. Before you had to copy and paste some API keys between the systems. Now you just press this allow button. Then you're redirected back to Bókun. And here you see at the top that your PayPal account is successfully connected. If you go to see more, you get more information on the integration. And if there is an error, for example, you forgot to confirm your email or there's some issue with your authentication process, it will tell you there with a red message like what is wrong. Then you can log into PayPal and fix that information. Since we are just showing what PayPal needs you to update. And then to finalize your integration or to move over to the new PayPal, then you just have to assign it to your booking channels. Booking channels is, for example, your website, your internal booking, your payment links, anywhere where you want to accept payments from PayPal. So just choose here your internal booking, your website, whatever you have, and save. And at that point, you are ready to take payments through PayPal. So it is a pretty simple process, just to log into the new PayPal with your current user credentials, accept Bókun into connecting to PayPal, and then you will end up with this new payment page from PayPal. This page varies a little bit on where you're located and what settings your customer has. So here I have PayPal and I have just the regular card information, but Google Pay, Apple Pay, and so forth will appear on this page also if your traveler has that set up on their device that they are using. So this is, very exciting to get this integration out. It's not live yet, so I should have started with telling you that. It's not live yet, but it's coming in the next couple of days, hopefully as early as next week, if not next week, the week after. With the first iteration, we will release the PayPal for card and all the PayPal options like PayPal and Fastlane and Pay Later. That will all come with the first release. And about 2 weeks after that, we will release Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, and other payment methods. So as soon as this is out, we will get a banner in your Bókun account and we will encourage you to move over to the new integration. I would encourage all of you to move over as quickly as you can after you get that message, because the new PayPal is a better flow. It converts better, so you should get more bookings in the end from that. And as soon as we add Apple Pay and Google Pay, we will send you a second notification and it will be added automatically to your account. All you have to do is just to integrate now, and then when the Apple Pay comes, it will automatically come to your account. So now I'm going to hand this over to Maya, and she's going to talk a little bit about the new Viator pricing and some AI integration options that Viator has for your products. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Asti. Hi, everyone. I'm Maya, and I'm responsible for partner marketing at Bókun. I work very closely with our online marketplaces, OTAs, and reseller partners, and I'm very excited to share some Viator updates with you today. So we've been working with Viator on a brand new integration called Pricing Sync, which has officially gone live. So what is Pricing Sync and how does it help you? Well, Pricing Sync officially automatically fetches any changes to pricing, scheduling, or start times that you've set in Bókun, and it updates your live Viator schedule. So this means no more updating prices in 2 places, which means you can really save time and reduce errors. So many of you have actually already enabled pricing sync, which is amazing. But just a friendly reminder, if for those who haven't switched it on yet, make sure you're ready for that seamless switch on. Just go to your Bókun account and make sure that your pricing and your schedules are up to date in your account. So then when you do switch it on, everything is perfectly integrated over there. And again, when you are ready to switch it on, you can simply just toggle it on. They've made it super easy to actually turn it on from your Viator Supplier Management Center. So now I want to take a few minutes just to walk you through some very important developments in AI, and more importantly, what they mean for you as Bókun suppliers, especially in the context of your partnership with Viator. So we're seeing a major shift in how travelers discover and book experiences. I don't think that's really news to anyone anymore, but trip planning isn't happening through traditional search alone. It's becoming very conversational, very much so powered by AI assistants that help travelers explore different options, helps them compare and make decisions in real time. So with that in mind, I have two exciting new updates that are a step forward in Viator's AI journey. So first off, Viator has partnered with Anthropic. What that means is that TripAdvisor and Viator have launched integrations directly inside the AI assistant Claude. So that means that a traveler can now plan a trip by having a conversation. So they can ask questions, they can refine their ideas, and they can also receive trusted recommendations for tours, activities, even hotels, all powered by TripAdvisor and Viator data. So they can also then click through to Viator to complete their booking. TripAdvisor and Viator have also already launched similar integrations with ChatGPT and Perplexity, so there's now a really strong coverage across the AI landscape. Secondly, Viator has expanded into Amazon, specifically by integrating with Alexa Plus. So this brings travel discovery into voice. Travelers can ask for destination ideas, things to do, or even full itinerary suggestions. Alexa Plus will respond with personal recommendations based off of all of the global travel content that is currently live in Canada, US, and Mexico. So why does this matter to you? Well, that's because your products, so your tours, your activities, and your experiences, they're all part of this ecosystem. As travelers shift towards that AI-driven discovery, platforms like Viator are going to become even more critical in making sure your offerings are visible in these new channels. Additionally, and this is very important, making sure your listings are optimized with photos, reviews, and complete details are going to be more important than ever before. Lastly, we've also made it easier for you to connect with Viator and other online marketplaces and OTAs within your Bókun account. So if you simply go to OTAs on the left side panel under Sales Tools, you'll find dedicated landing pages for all of the main OTA partners that clearly explain in step by step how to connect to them. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm now going to be passing it back to Barbara.
Thank you so much, Maya, and everyone that's presented so far. So that's everything that's new in Bókun Tide. But before we wrap and go to questions, I just wanted to do a quick check on why this really matters. And it is because our features are new, but the foundations are not. So, as a quick reminder, we don't just ship features and hope they land. Bókun powers over 2,600 OTAs and resellers globally, the broadest distribution network in the experiences industry. We are rated number one across major OTAs, 4.7 stars out of 5 on the operators that use it every day. And our platform has a 99.9% uptime, which is PCI DSS validated. So when we talk about saving you time, getting products live faster, or putting your inventory in front of new audiences, that's what's underpinning. The features are new, but the foundation isn't. And then finally, before we go to questions, there's one more thing that I wanted to shout out about. And this is for any operator in the room with a bold experience idea. We've launched something really cool called the Bókun Launchpad, which is a Dragon's Den style pitch competition for experienced operators across Europe. If you've got an idea for a brand new experience that you've been sitting on, the kind of thing that could become a bestseller, we want to back it and we want to hear about it. So, ask to you is to record a 60 to 90-second video pitch and send it in, and a panel of judges will pick up a winner. The important thing for us here is your idea and not the video itself, and that's very important. So, no need for a big production, just a simple selfie video explaining your idea will be enough. And the prize is generally good, including $10,000 in cash, 12 months of Bókun Start, and dedicated support from us to take your idea from pitch to reality. So if you've got an idea, please pitch it. If you know an operator with one, point them your way, our way. They do not need to be a Bókun customer. It can be any operator across any part of the industry that are with any booking systems. So submissions are now open at bokun.io/launchpad. So if you have any ideas, please do send them our way. Okay, so that's it for me. Let's invite our co-hosts back on so that we can go through your questions. But first, I just wanted to say to them a big thank you to Courtney, Akshay, Asti, and Maya for taking us through everything today, and for all of you that joined us live as well. Um, we have been answering some of your questions during the webinar. So, you know that if we don't get to your question live, we'll either reply to you within the next few minutes that are left directly on the chat, or follow up after the webinar. So don't worry, all questions are being answered and you're not walking away with any questions left. So final housekeeping, the record will land in your inbox tomorrow alongside the resources for today. And before anyone has to drop before questions, I just wanted to reiterate that more Bókun Tides are coming. We'll let you know dates as we lock in, so you can save them in your calendar. And if you have any feedback from today, we'll be very keen to hear from you. You will receive a link to send your feedback in the follow-up email tomorrow. The Bókun Tides are built for you, so we are very, very keen to hear your thoughts. So without further ado, let's jump into the questions. Okay, so we've got one here for Akshit. When is the AI importer coming for existing users?
Well, thanks for that question. Yeah, so the development is actually in progress for the AI importer to come for all the users and existing users. So hopefully, please be tuned. But yes, likely later this month, you should have it for existing vendors as well. Thank you.
Wonderful. We've got one for Courtney. How do I join the beta group for the new departure screen?
So actually, we are probably going to be switching the new departure screen on for nearly everyone in the next week or two. So possibly you don't need to join the departure group anymore because it is coming up so soon. But if you're really keen and you want to, then you could email support at Bókun and they will let me know.
Amazing. So we've got one here for Asti. Do we have Asti in the room?
Yes, here I am.
Someone's asked, I already have a connected PayPal account. Do I have to create a new one for the new integration?
No, you can still use the same PayPal account. So basically, you just have your account on PayPal, you authenticate through Bókun to integrate you're basically just updating the integration to Bókun to the current PayPal account you have. So on PayPal, then nothing will change. You'll keep the same account. You will keep all of your old bookings. You're just updating the integration part to Bókun.
Wonderful, thank you for that. We've got another one for Akshit, popular AI product importer. So the question is Is it possible to improve with AI a product just active?
Yes, that's a very good question. So you can indeed go to your existing products, click on the edit functionality, and actually use the AI description improvement feature on it. So it does two things. It can actually generate a description from scratch. So if you don't have any description, it can generate it for you. However, if you have any description written in your own language, you can actually use it to refine it further. So yes, you can. Thank you.
So the next one, I would take it as part of the marketing team. Very flattering question. It says, thank you so much, and thanks for new updates and asking your feedback. Silly question. How can I purchase a jacket you guys wear with Bókun logo? So nice to hear that our new jackets are being well recognized. We don't have any for sale at the moment, but it is something that I'm taking on board to hear that's positive feedback and that you guys like it. So we'll think about how we can get to some of our customers in a next activation. So a good one to have in mind. Thank you for that question. Okay, so I've got another one for PayPal here. So for Asti, do I lose the data I have on my PayPal account when I upgrade to the new integration in Bókun?
Okay, thank you for this question. So no, I think I touched on it a little bit earlier, but no, you will not lose your data. You still keep your PayPal account exactly as it is. It's only the integration to Bókun that will update. Okay.
Actually, as a nice segue to that one, we've got another PayPal question coming in. Can I go back to my old PayPal integration if I have issues with the new one?
Yes, absolutely. Because you are creating a new integration to your PayPal account, the old one is still in Bókun. So you can always go to your Bókun channels, change back to the old integration, and then change back to the new one as you need to. So nothing will disappear from the settings you have already.
Wonderful. Just going through the questions here to see if there's another one for you guys. There's another one for Courtney, more general than the previous one around customer research. What can I do if I want to get more involved in customer research in general? So not just the beta group.
So our research team are actively looking for people to join like a panel of customers. So they send emails inviting people in and they put little pop-ups into the platform. So just accept one of those, then you basically get added to a short list of people who they could contact for participating in any research. So not just related to my calendar, of course, but could be across any of the product teams or any topic.
Wonderful. So we are at almost at time now. Just one final question for Akshit. Is the new product creation flow also make it easier for me to create products on mobile?
Oh, yes, 100%. So we have actually put in a lot of effort to improve the mobile functionality of the new AI, of the new product creator. So if you actually open it on mobile, you'll see a lot more real estate, around 40% more screen space to actually create it. So you can start it on the go, save it, complete it on desktop, or start it and complete it on mobile itself. So yes. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Akshit, and thank you so much, everyone that has presented today or that has joined and also asked questions and interacted. Thank you for spending this last hour with us. As I mentioned, there will be more Bókun Tides, and there will be an email tomorrow with all the resources, including a link to feedback. So if you've got anything to share, please do let us know. And final reminder that all of your questions will be answered. So if you haven't got an answer during this webinar, we'll be following up with you. Thank you so much and see you at the next tide.